So I'm sitting in a Peugeot 3008 with THP 163 engine. So as this issue that has already been coming up on the car, on the vehicle, so constantly we will just be showing oil light, insufficient oil warning, just oil pressure issue per se. So at the point, at the time I put, because of this, we decided, let's just remove the engine completely, pull out the engine wiring harness. I took it home, checked I think I did a video on that. So check the engine wiring harness one after the other, and I didn't see anything faulty on the harness. So I was thinking maybe there's a discommunication between the engine ECU and those sensors. I'm talking about no sensor per se now. Okay, one of them is a sensor. That's the oil pressure sensor, which is beside the oil filter assembly. Then the second one is actually on the oil filter assembly itself, that oil pressure sensor. So in other words, beside the oil filter. Now the second oil, there are about three. There's the second one is the one on the oil pump right inside the engine. That's the solenoid, oil solenoid valve, oil pump solenoid valve. So that one is attached on the oil pump inside the engine. Now the third one is the oil solenoid, which is on the cylinder head, which we regard as VVT solenoid. But that one hardly give issue on this car. So the one that usually pop up when I scan with those warning is mostly the one on the oil pump. That's the one that usually give that warning. So so this time I was like, after checking the harness, we didn't see any issue. So I said, okay, no problem. So put it back. I thought, I just keep using it because you can't figure out where the issue is coming from. Sometimes with the PP2000 or Diagnosing, you see the solenoid, especially that one under, it will work. All of a sudden it will go off. So it comes on and off. When you remove the solenoid, test it out outside, it works perfectly well as long as you keep testing it. But when you put it inside the engine, it comes on and off. Sometimes it comes on, sometimes it goes off, which is not proper. It's supposed to stay on permanently with the engine running. So initially I suspected, I'm still suspecting that the issue is the engine ECU, because the engine ECU that controls both solenoids. The communication is between the engine ECU and those connectors, those solenoid or sensors, not necessarily the fuse box or any other thing. So even though the harness could still be the issue, but like I said, I put it out, tested it, I didn't see anything wrong. So what I decided to do was, okay, let's just change those connectors, the connectors, for especially the two that usually pumps up. Number one, the one under the one inside the engine, that's the oil pump solenoid valve or electro valve, and then the oil pressure sensor, or what people also call switch, which is beside the oil filter. So the owner was able to get the connectors because it wasn't easy to get here in Abuja. So this is a used connector. So this one is the one for oil pressure sensor beside the oil filter. So as you can see now, this one is for the oil pump solenoid valve, the one inside the engine. So this is the connector. I hope I got it. That's well, it looks like it, so I want to expect that is it. I don't have the solenoid to plug it in to be sure that that's it. So what we are going to do now, unfortunately, to access this one, to change this connector, it won't be that easy because we need to jack the car, remove the oil pan, jack the car, remove the tire, remove the drive shaft on the right side completely, And most likely we also need to remove the engine mount bracket, the lower one, the one they call shaft hanger in Nigeria. We have to remove it for us to be able to have access to this connector. And I'll change it myself. This one I'll do it later because the engine is very hot now. So remember, I have to pass through it. But to change this, I have to remove it from under the turbocharger, and I don't want to mess with that area right now that the engine is hot. Now, why do people think changing the connector will have any effect or might be the cause? Because the dump valve, the turbocharger dump valve of this car initially was showing something similar like that, faulty, refused to work. Change the electro valve, which is attached, that black electro valve attached on the turbocharger. I will show you the valve. So it kept showing that fault. So I was like, okay, no, well, let me just change the connector to, since we tried up to 2, it kept showing the same thing. Change the connector, the 420 way. So till now, that please, I haven't seen that fault again. So we said, okay, let me just try it on this one. So I advised the owner to try the same thing here, so that if it now continues, then we'll now know. Like I told him, I'm suspecting that the ECU is the problem. However, we have to start from the list and load everything out. Harness, I spoke with somebody who was saying harness could also cause it, the wiring harness, engine harness. I don't know. I mean, if the harness is the problem, how come the sensors are completely different from each other? So why would it not be affecting both solenoid? This one will do. This one will work. Even when I did not touch the harness, for some reason it started working. Then all of a sudden it stopped working. So, and I did continuity tests on the two oil, the sensor, the oil pressure sensor, and the solenoids, and no issue. Didn't show as if it's touching any of the wire, bridging and touching elsewhere. So because for this one, these pins inside, those things inside can enlarge, and I won't be able to grip on the pin that comes from the sensors or solenoid. So let me show you that turbo electro valves that will change the connector and started working. So if after changing this connector, these two, and the issue remain, for me, I would just say, I'll tell the owner, we just have to try another ECU. It doesn't affect the movement of the car or anything. It just, once in a while it pops up. They will actually started work. If I switch on if I didn't even have started the car, you see it will pop up. I tell you stop here. I show you oil lamp here. Oil kettle. Is it kettle? Not lamp. Kettle here. Then of course we change the MFD, the factory one. So this one is Android. It doesn't show that one in here, but normally it's supposed to show oil pressure insufficient or something. So that is it. Okay, so this is the turbocharger electro valve, which is also known as dump valve. So there was a time this solenoid was giving that fault, so I changed this connector, put another connector, and it stopped. Since that time, the issue has not come back. So that's why I want to start by changing. This is where the oil pressure sensor. Let me see if I can remove the connector. Okay, so this is the connector for the oil pressure sensor switch. So while the one that controls the inside the oil pump, solenoid, see, to access it, I have to go under the car and see whether I can remove it. So, but we need to remove the oil, the metal protector on it, and see what happens. Okay, alright. Okay, so I'm under the car now, under the engine bay. So I've actually changed it. So this is the side from the oil pump solenoid, oil pump solenoid valve. So let's see. So this is the side that comes from the engine, from inside the engine block. This is where it comes out. I'm not trying. I hope the camera is getting it well. So this is where it comes out from the engine block. So this is the connector side from the solenoid itself. Now, so this is the connector from the harness. So this is the side that the owner purchased. So I've changed it actually. So this is the one that was purchased. So let me show you. This is the old one. This is the old one. So all I need to do now is to plug it back and let's see how I can do it. Okay, I might need to drop my camera to do it. Then I'll tuck the wire in very well. And so you can see oil stain here. Let me see. Space is very tight. Now I try seeing you. So there's a small drop of oil from, I don't know whether it's from the oil pan. It's coming from the upper part of the engine and dropping towards here. I suspect probably from the upper part of the engine, not the oil pan. So there's a small oil leak. That's the only place I can see oil here. This is the engine, the turbo electro valve behind the manifold. Turbo charging electro valve behind the manifold. Check the connector, it's tight enough. I don't know if this camera is showing it properly. So this is it. So other than that, I'm trying to see if I can get not any other oil leak from here. It seems to be from only I see there's something around the compressor, but I'm not so sure. The one that is obvious is here, but it's not that much, just I'm suspecting somewhere upper part of the engine. Okay, so I'm done here. I will just plug this in then and I will cover it back. Let me show you what we remove for us to assess this. Okay. Oof. So first thing first, you can see we have to drag the vehicle and remove the tire. So we remove the drive shaft, the right side, complete. Then we have to also remove the engine mount bracket. I see it under there. So these are the things to remove so you can access. So from here you can see clear better the two connectors, you know, male and female. So now we are done with this one. So next thing is to do this other upper one, then we'll conclude the day. Okay, so this is the engine mount bracket, lower side, on the right lower side, the one they call shaft finder. So I checked, the bushing is okay. The bushing of the mount. So this is the part number T008 with this engine, automatic transmission. DVC EPC 8109007. So for this is the one that holds the drive shaft, the inner one, that's the CVH inner one. The part number is 9681397 So all these numbers are very important, especially if you want to get exactly this for this engine on this vehicle. The gearbox. Okay, so we're going to mount back this. So, alright. Okay, so the oil pressure sensor, I've also changed the connector. This is the one that came. You can see this one since was removed from Mini Cooper. You can see BMW on it. So this is one that was okay. Both of them also have that BMW engraved on them anyway. So this is the old one. So you can see from the old one, the part that grips on the sensor has broken. So that's why it's no longer holding. While the one purchased still has that plastic that grips on the sensor. So let me plug it in now so that I close the chapter. The sensor is here. Hold on. I'm trying to locate. Okay, so look at it. This side will come to this side. Let's see. Okay, so it has entered now, and so this is for the turbocharger cylinder. Okay, so these are the two connectors changed. So this one with two wires, it was one removed from the oil pump solenoid. While this is for the oil pressure sensor here. There's another solenoid, oil solenoid valve behind the cylinder on the intake side. But that one hasn't given me any problem, and I know I've tested it on the vehicle before, so I'll leave it for now. So we'll see what happens. So I think we are done. However, we'll change the engine oil, and so we'll see what happens. Okay, so we change the engine oil, so couple everything back, we'll couple back the tire, but what the car down, and so I stand the car, we show the engine oil pressure sensor. On the BSI, it shows engine oil pressure signal. Engine oil pressure signal on the BSI unit. That's the fault that came up. So clear the fault, scan the engine ECU, and it showed engine oil pressure sensor signal. So well, cleared it and started the car, and from here I can see, hold on, the oil pressure cylinder valve. Let me direct it. Oil pump, oil pressure cylinder valve. You can see it's reading. So before now, I don't know whether you continue. Sometimes start the car, check it will be reading. Sometimes start it won't read. And so right now it's reading. And so the oil pressure, engine oil pressure, measure oil pressure. You can see it here. Oil pressure reference value. I see that here too. So so let's see. Let me switch it up and scan, see what it will show. I don't know why this oil, this thing is blinking. It's as if the oil level sensor is not working. Or I don't know. I'll look it up to know what it means when it starts blinking. Which I wasn't doing before until I went to pick the car today. So you can see it's carrying no oil indication fault for now. It's saying CAN network. Let me see. Check CAN network. Use 140. It's already there. I don't know what that fault means. Let's see. Okay. So I don't know. We'll know until you use the car. Okay. Right now, the oil warning has stopped. Whether it will come back or not, I don't know. But like I said, we need to rule the connectors out. So if we continue, we will now know the next two things now will be either the engine ECU or the engine harness. But I don't see why it should be the harness. For example, if it was the harness, then why will it be working? Then suddenly it stop working. I don't know. I've also done the test, continuity test on all the wires that come from the oil pressure sensor to the engine ECU and the oil pump solenoid valve to the engine ECU. And they are okay. So I don't know. I don't see why it should be the harness. Let's see whether I can find. I'm trying to remember the solenoid for. I'm trying to remember that. Hold on. The solenoid for that electro valve solenoid on the cylinder head, the intake for the intake camshaft. Let's see whether I will find it here. Okay, it's not here. To see if that one is reading. Mixture. Okay, it's not here. You say ignition. It shouldn't be an ignition. Let me check the inlet. Okay, see it here. You can see. So it's actually on the intake circuit. So it says inlet camshaft diffuser solenoid valve. You can see it's working. See, if I accelerate it, it will increase. So that one has never given problem on this engine ever. So unless maybe I take it for the drive, then we scan, see what happened. Okay, let's do another rescan. You could say maybe while taking the car back to the owner, I can see the oil is still flashing. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. Okay, so no fault. So no oil for this CAN network. I don't know what that means. So I think hopefully this will be the last update. So finished the work on the car today. I think that's it. Hopefully. So like I pointed out, I now know what we are destined to do if the oil pressure warning comes up again. And I scan it and it's still showing either of these two. We tested about, to be honest, if not 4 oil pump solenoid valve on that engine. And they kept doing the same thing. If you remove them, they work very well. If you put them back, they stop working. So I'm not going to keep changing that solenoid again. believe the issue is hopefully sorted. So I think that's it for this repair. Till another video, hopefully.